this is Wonderbit Trading and we're carrying on with our weekly Bitcoin and Ethereum price analysis. Let's go straight into the content. As usual, in front of you, you can see the four graphs. All of them are related to Bitcoin. The one on the top left is the BTC futures. The one on the top right is the BTC dominance chart. And the two at the bottoms are BTC, USD and USDT price from different exchanges. The one on the left is Bitstamp. The one on the right is Binance. So, the overall overview of what's going on, this is the weekly charts, and we can see that on the futures, the start of the week was a sharp drop, and then we rebounding back. The bulls are rebuying it back right now, and this is just the beginning of the week with a very sharp drop overnight. The BTC dominance is going down, which means that the altcoins are pumping and increasing much higher than the BTC does. And what's going on here is that we can see on both the Binance and Bitstamp, they have a very similar scenario in which you have a very solid bullish candle. The volume is not that great, but still it's not a problem. You can see that the previous 2 weeks you saw almost a similar scenario. The price was steadily growing from the beginning to the end of the week, and this can be signaled by the candles and how they formed. And at the same time, the volume is roughly the same throughout the weeks. Okay, let's put all our drawings in and go into the daily charts to see what's actually happening right now. And we'll start from the futures. As we mentioned last week, you can go and watch our previous analysis in our channel. We have this gap, which can be better seen on the 4-hour time frame. And as we mentioned, probability that it's going to be closed within the first week is around 75%, and this is exactly what's happened. We saw the divergence over here. We saw after that divergence a steadily decrease in the price towards the 50 moving average, and then rebounds from that. This gap, as mentioned in the previous video, you can just ignore this for now, because if it hasn't finished during the first week, we're just ignoring it, because it may take some time to finish it, and there will be no correlation between the price movement down and closure of this particular gap. However, what's very interesting is the beginning of this week, and we can see that there was a huge gap in the opening hours, and it was immediately closed with a price dropping towards the 50 MA and then rebuying of the price back to the level of around 10,000. So the bulls currently at the future markets are trying to hold the price at the level of 10,000, above 10,000, and this will signal the future growth if we would be able to do so. Let's go into the dominance chart, and this one is also following our predictions. We retested this one, we went into this area. What we're expecting right now is actually not the further move down, but the recheck of this downward channel. This will be the most appropriate thing from a technical analysis point of view. This is a nice area to recheck the downward channel. And if this will happen, this will mean a very positive signal for altcoins, for the future growth of altcoins, if BTC can hold above 10,000 and carry on the steady growth. Let's go to the Bitstamp, and here we'll look at the global chart at what's happening over here. What we were expecting is the larger rebounds towards the 50 MA, but this didn't occur, and the price started moving up somewhere halfway through it. But now we can see that if we connect the highs from the previous cycle high and the 2019 cycle high, we can see that there is a resistance line which would be around 11,300, and this sounds like a very good area where the Bitcoin can be stopped, or at least some resistance, some huge resistance can be formed. The RSI divergence didn't hold. You can see the new high while the price is going, so we can delete this one. If the RSI price if the RSI and price divergence didn't hold, then we can expect future growth of the Bitcoin price towards this level of resistance. Let me put it over here. This is a very optimistic view, however it is also very reasonable. We can see that the next level of resistance will be around 10,800. You can see that this was the midpoint where the consolidation triangle in the last year was actually forming the supports and resistance areas at the same time. And the most important factor is that we can see that even though the volume is not increasing dramatically, there is a strong upward move, at least on the Bitstamp, based on the RSI, based on the candles themselves, based on the fact that we're above 200 moving average, and we are aiming to have the golden cross here on a daily chart. If we go to the Binance exchange, this is where we actually trade. The most important thing is this spike in volume in the yesterday's move. So on 9th of February there was a huge spike in volume. Let me put it over here, we can see it here. The similar spike was actually here and here, and let's look what happened in both of these occasions. So when we saw these huge spikes, we were almost at the top of our price movement and the reversal started immediately. So this is another spike over here and the reversal starts immediately, and actually quite a deep reversal. Here it's a very similar scenario. So we see a spike in the volume, which means that there is some redistribution of Bitcoins going on at this height. We might expect the retracement from that point. However, again, the RSI divergence didn't hold at this particular point. But that was exactly the case here. So there was no RSI divergence over here. The price went down, the RSI went down, and this scenario is very similar. The difference based on the RSI indicator is only the level at which the reversal started. Based on the RSI indicator, the reversal started here when the price was definitely overbought, and you could have seen the huge candles here, the overbought region, and then we went down based on the volume. We're going towards that level of overbought, but we'll still need to increase the price of Bitcoin further. So let's look at today's day as well. You can see straight, even though the day just started, the volume is already above the 20 MA volume average. And this is quite significant. So if we can hold here, well, the price will be roughly steady in the horizontal channel while the volume will be picking. I would say that this may indicate that this is the turning point, because this is exactly where the redistribution of the BTC is happening. Okay, the overall conclusion over here is that we should see a further increase in Bitcoin, maybe not a huge one. If we can complement this increase of the price with the volume, then we will reach this resistance line of 11,400 roughly by the end of the month. And if this happens, the altcoins, there is a very good potential for the altcoins to shoot even further up. So let's go to Ethereum right now. We'll focus on a single graph over here. We'll go to the weekly to start our analysis. And again, the Ethereum did extremely well during the previous weeks. You can see that based on starting from the 23rd of December, Ethereum was steadily increasing. Based on the weekly charts, we all the time saw a little bit of a gaining going on. The previous week closed very nicely, a very strong candle with a nice volume, going above the line of resistance of both the 50 MA and the volume profile. So the Ethereum looks very strong right now on the weekly. You can see that our prediction was that it will go up to that channel and then start a retracement. It didn't do so. So what we're expecting right now is to recheck this area of the upward channel. We probably gonna see at least some retracement within the next 2 days. Based on the 4-hour chart, you can see that the divergence start forming. The price was steadily increasing while the RSI is actually going down from exactly the same level. There was some good volume spikes in terms of support in this, but if we take the volume profile from the 23rd of January, you can see that this is the peak in terms of the trading volume based on that price level of 228. So this also supports the idea that this can be a redistribution of Ethereum right now, where the smart money will exit, wait for a short retracement, and then re-enter it. So basically, if we just take in the last leg, the retracement up to the 38% of Fibonacci retracement would be very appropriate. We can also think of the 200 as a round number, and this round number will hold as a level of support. I'll just plot it over here. So what we might see in the future, let's put this prediction away. What we might see during this week is retest of that area and the 50 MA as a support line. And then if this support will hold, this will be exactly at the level of 38% of the Fibonacci retracement, and we can carry on the upward move. Okay, that was it, guys, for this week. Thank you very much for watching. Please subscribe to our YouTube channel and stay tuned with our analysis, and best of luck with your trading.